because of all the advances in research. And something she does so well is break it down to a level. I mean, we are at an advanced level, but we are not researchers at Ivy League schools yet. So she breaks it down to such an understandable and practical and applicable level that I hope that one day I'll be able to understand it even more.
Upon your role as an educator, okay, so you have an extensive background, all in research and other areas, okay, but you decided to teach. You decided to, so why did you do that?
I think the love for teaching has always been there in me. It's not so much how much I am able to understand, but I think what I realized about myself is what I understand, I'm able to communicate it to my students. And for me, more than that science, to see that they get interested in it, and then it stokes the fire in them, that is the greatest reward. So I feel very flattered by what you guys say of me, but I don't know if I really deserve all of that. But for me, the fact that I could present something to them in class, and in the future, I won't be surprised if any of the kids who have sat in the class are future Nobel laureates.
I'm sure they will be.
And it will be my privilege to be learning from them, to have them as guest speakers, you know, if I'm fortunate enough to still sit in a classroom and be teaching, to learn from them. So I am only providing, I don't consider myself to be an expert in anything. I just consider myself to have an interest in looking at these things. So, you know, Tuesday morning I look at the Science Times, and if it's something that's interesting, I just can't wait for these kids to come into class. And even before they settle in, I'll tell them, guys, you got to look at this. And they pick up on it.
Most recently, I was at the City College of New York, Irene, both of you were there, okay? Yep. I was amazed. Well, what was up there? That was the presentation.
New York City Science and Engineering Fair.
Okay. And just walking around and seeing a good number of schools, okay, represented throughout the city at that particular competition, there were amazing things that were going on. Amazing things. Some of the things I really couldn't understand a little bit, but just to be able to see a high school student go through the process of the research area to develop the presentation and know it fluently in and out, and that drive that each had in presenting was simply amazing.
Absolutely.
And I can see great things coming out of many of those students.
Absolutely.
I understand both of you have moved up since that point.
We will be competing at the next level on Wednesday at the Museum of Natural History. Very,
very good. I wish you both luck. Let's talk about, you know, the beginning. I mean, everyone goes through some general high school science, okay? Yeah. So at our particular school, Staten Island Tech, it's just not a general science that's going on. Give me a breakdown as to the sciences that are taught at Tech.
Well, freshman year, we all start off with honors biology course. So you learn about your evolution, you learn about the human body, you learn about ecology, you learn about all of the basic biology principles, but on a sophisticated level. We move into chemistry sophomore year. Unfortunately, I didn't have Miss Subes as my chemistry teacher, but her energy just penetrates the entire school.
I love
so you don't have to have her as a teacher to be in love with her teaching. Then junior year we go on to physics, but also junior year we can take AP Sciences and AP Math courses. So Joe was in AP Chemistry, I was in AP Calculus, and senior year, we can take as many science courses as we want. We can take AP Biology, we can take Biotechnology, we can take Forensic Science, we can take AP Physics, AP everything you want in science, you have it at Staten Island Tech.
I had once done a show here, a medical symposium, and there were about 12 doctors from Staten Island University Hospital, and one particular doctor, Dr. Joseph McGinn, heart surgeon here on Staten Island. I had asked them the question, how important is, the sciences, in the realm of, how important is the sciences for students at a high school level, and more than just the sciences, the other technology classes in a career such as medicine or research. And he very quickly stated, they are the ones that are creating the new implants, the new devices, pacemaker, for example, defibrillator is merely a computer. They are the ones that are researching a better battery that's going to last 10 years, 12 years instead of 5. They're the ones that are creating, and I love what he said about creating a heart valve in which the material that is used is not interactive, longer lasting. Okay, the valve that's sitting in my chest was made from the pericardium of a cow, and the alloy that was used in supporting the basic structure is, of course, non-evasive, but the technology that was used to develop that, he says, these are the students who go on and discover these things and create these things. And so it is extremely important that we have students such as those present in adapting, okay, and embracing the sciences. So let's get to how did you get hooked on the sciences? How did you get hooked on the fact that, wow, this is interesting, let's see what goes on. Most students just want to go through the basic class, boom, they're out of there, and they move on to the next one. Yeah. But you guys certainly have taken it beyond the general point. You're not the norm. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think it's good.
We know we're strange.
Yes. Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, like I said before, doing your own research definitely helps to get hooked onto science. You're given a class where you can say, okay, pick a topic in science, anything in science, run with it, study it, see what you can do with it. And that just gives you the drive to say, okay, I want to be a veterinarian. I want to work with dogs. I want to work with police dogs. Let me get to a veterinarian. Let me see how he works. Let me see how the regular day goes. What drugs are out there? How these drugs react? All these things. You start seeing all these connections and you go, well, now I'm working with police dogs with drugs. And you get into chemistry. Let me see how chemistry affects it. Physics. You just keep going and going and going. And when you get hooked, you build a momentum in your own research and your own understanding and learning. And you decide that this is something I really love. And I want to continue with it. And the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And it's basically just, I wouldn't call it a vicious cycle, I call it an amazing cycle.
And upon it, there's no end here, is there?
Oh, absolutely. It's always a beginning.
It's always a new thing going on. It's always a new discovery.
Absolutely.
It's always something going on.
Absolutely.
That's what keeps you going.
Absolutely.
Your role as a research person. My daughter was a research biologist up at Sloan. She was doing pediatric cancers. She had an amazing job. I couldn't pronounce half the words she would come back to, okay? But what can I say? I'm an Italian guy. I'm from Brooklyn. Not that it's bad, but, but I was amazed at what she was doing, okay? And she would love to continue to do that. She's doing something else now that's related to the medical field, but she still has that love of research. In your case, you still have that love of research.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's my spirit. I think it's a very human spirit. If you think about it, we all start researching things in a way when we are children. You explore the environment, you're curious about things. It could be as simple as just picking up a magnifying glass and looking at something, that is there. The look at your... like my son, when he got a magnifying glass, he went looking at everybody's eyes and ears and annoying his sister. All that, is how curiosity is born in you, and then it never stops, and you keep building it at various levels. And what I think the school system does, or what education provides us, is the material for us to think more. It gives us the words by which we can build